Almost bought Fallout 76. Wanted to play it, thank God that I didn't. Way too many bugs, more than ended hill. Maybe it should have stayed in development hell. Bethesda, go away. Not gonna give you more money. Don't want to play more of your games. Bethesda, go away. Bethesda, go away.
Welcome to How Hard Can Bethesda Screw Themselves Over, where I talk about how irritated I am with Bethesda, then talk about what they could have done instead. I want to start off saying that I really wanted to play Fallout 76. I did. I really did. I was looking forward to it. I didn't pre-order though, because I had my suspicions. See, my experiences with the last couple of Bethesda games has actually been pretty decent. I haven't had to worry about too many bugs. I have had some issues though. Once, across all three of the games I own from them, all at the same time, that influenced me to delete them all. After re-downloading though, they worked again, but whatever. So, Fallout 76. I wanted to play it. I was looking forward to maybe role-playing amongst friends, maybe making some new ones, and all around just exploring. That's what I enjoy most, is exploring. I never wound up buying the game because I wanted to wait until the game was more stable. Then all the bad news came pouring in and I just lost interest in playing it at all. I listened to some of Oxhorn's videos about the game so I could at least have a vicarious enjoyment of it, but I was probably going to wait a year or more to play. I hope they could fix it up in that time. I had pretty clear expectations of what I wanted from the game. A mostly vacant, almost haunting experience picking up the dead pieces of various civilizations and groups of people. I wanted that. I know a lot of people were disappointed with the lack of NPCs, but I was looking forward to that part of the game. There were people saying it was just an asset flip, and I knew it wasn't. Sure, it's going to share some assets, but that's not how asset flips work. They yank all assets from storefronts and add nothing new. This had so much new to it. The way the Scorched work, the various new creatures, the Scorched beasts, all of that. I was genuinely fascinated. I wanted to meet Mothman. I wanted to shoot Mothman. Bethesda, however, couldn't stop shooting themselves in the foot. They kept creating a big old pile of crap and they couldn't get out from under the shadow of it. It poisoned the well. They kept poisoning that well with a lot of their design choices, like the things with scrap. A really limited scrap total that a player can keep. That's fairly shitty when it comes to a game that requires so many resources to do anything. Now we get to our latest screw-up from Bethesda. Actually, a trio of screw-ups. First, let's talk about rescinded promises. I've been paying attention to a lot of things in the gaming world lately, and by far one of the things that irritates me the most is when a company says they're going to monetize their game a certain way or not monetize it, and then they go back on that promise to do it later. I am tired of watching game companies break their users' trust over and over and over again. Activision telling everyone that they won't put loot boxes in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, only to go ahead and do it. They expect us to believe they won't be in Call of Duty Modern Warfare when they saw fit to put them in the remaster of the original Modern Warfare? Are you kidding me? So, anyways, back to Bethesda. Bethesda said that their micro or macro transactions would only be cosmetic. Then they added in those scrap packs and I was fairly annoyed, but from a distance. Again, I'm not playing the game, but I'm paying attention to it in case I want to play it later. They rescinded that promise. Came out with some excuse of people asking for it. Oh, and by the way, that cool update not being released yet. Sorry guys. But did you know it's possible to fix the problems with your game without charging people for it? It's a wonderful concept. Unfortunately, Bethesda has further poisoned the well. If you ask me, all of this looks like they purposely hamstrung their game to sell their player base time and effort savers. Just like Assassin's Creed Odyssey's $10 EXP boost. Just like Shadow of Mordor's Orc boxes. Just like Star Wars Battlefront 2's card packs or whatever they were called. They manufacture a problem and then sell you the solution. Of course, they follow up their little milquetoast announcement with this little gem the next day. Hey guys, pay us $12 a month or $100 a year to fix the issues we made with our game. An unlimited scrap box, private servers, another placeable fast travel point. It's horseshit. They waited one goddamn day, less than 24 hours after announcing they were breaking their own promise, the one they made in order to drop a huge microtransaction offer in our lap. And now, on top of that, it doesn't work. That scrap box is liable to eat your scrap. All of it. Gone. The private servers, they're not even new versions of the world. They can come pre-looted along with dead enemies. If you wanted a fresh experience of the game, well, too bad, Gitto. I guess it just goes to show that you can't even trust Bethesda with your in-game valuables, let alone your real-world money. You resold Skyrim 3 times, Bethesda. What are you doing with all that dang money? You sure as hell aren't fixing your old games if the reports are anything to go by. Can you at least even be bothered to fix your new ones? Your new patches? I guess not. Alright, enough with the negativity for a moment. Let's talk about how Bethesda could have done better for a moment. Let's pretend that they wanted to be a positive game company. How could they have done better? First, you don't rescind your promises. It's a bad look. It doesn't matter how apologetic you are. Stick to your word or else you don't deserve anyone's trust. If you must, which you don't, but if you gosh darn must, just due to pure economics, you're under threat of being closed down, must break a promise, you don't give horrible excuses. You don't give justifications about how, oh, the players, they asked for this with their feedback. It's all disingenuous, and you know it. You tell your customers the truth. We made a promise, we're breaking it, we're sorry. We really need the money from additional microtransactions. Stop lying to your customers. Hell, the truth is probably more like, we lied to you from the start. We always intended to charge for gameplay microtransactions. We just wanted to boost our initial player base by saying we wouldn't. We're not sorry, we're just really greedy. All of that is besides the point. The Fallout First crap, almost all of it should have been free. Take out the atoms. Nobody cares about that. If they wanted atoms, they'd be paying for them. If they're not, that means your offers are either too expensive or too low quality, and that's on you. This is coming from someone who regularly pumps $100+ into Warframe almost every chance I get. On top of that, fix the mechanics of your game to make it better to play. Either allow players to sit and break up scrap or give them buildable options to do so. That tent? That should have been another easily crafted item to build, pick back up, and replace. Give it some wear and tear and have players be able to fix it if it just must have a cost. It should have been part of the base game. Secondly, allow all players to have a completely solo world, playable offline with a personal character that allows zero interactivity with the online portion of the game. This has been a request from day one. As for the private servers, they should be at most $10, realistically probably $5. For one thing, we're not talking about a world that's as deeply randomized as Minecraft. I personally pay for a Minecraft server for myself, my friends, and my family, and it is about $8. Oh, and those private servers should be persistent and allow you to create a server whitelist, allowing you to only have people on that server you allow to be in there. None of this, oh, so-and-so is on my friends list, they can just walk on in whenever. The fact that none of this is in place just proves how half-baked and half-cocked this whole thing is. You are creating worse services than almost anyone else provides. It would probably be better for them to be able to host their own server off their own damn computer than trust you with the task. At the very least, this should have had a beta. People have paid for this product. This should have been a free trial right up until they released that big update with the Wastelanders, since they just insisted on pushing it back. Then they could have at least had a lot of this fixed before forcing people to pay for it. You don't mess with people's loot, especially. Game progress is one of the most important parts of games like this, and your terrible coding is actively ripping people off. Hindsight is of course 2020. If you wanted to fix this right now, I'd refund people's money. Give everyone that ranger costume for free as an apology. Take the hit on whatever atoms were already distributed. Use all of this as a public beta period until you release that Wastelanders update. Then start charging for it. Take out the fluff, stop charging for the scrap box, and just sell persistent servers so people can have their own world to call home, allowing them to make bigger builds in order to show them off, much like how Minecraft works. Psst, spoiler warning, that's how you get earned content that shows off your game in a better light. Oh, and fix your game, and fix it faster. I'm aware that bug fixing is hard, but your company has put it off for too long and it shows for a lot of users. You need to do better. Also, I think y'all should hire a common sense manager. I'm not even joking. You guys need to hire somebody to sit down and read whatever plans you're making and allow that person to look your team in the eyes and say this is a bad idea. Don't do it. You'll piss off way too many people. You are hemorrhaging trust, and that is worse than hemorrhaging money. The industry might wind up headlong into another gaming crash because of things like this. I almost hope it does. I'm tired of seeing all this bullshit happening, which is why I'm taking a personal stand against it. As it is, I am done with Bethesda Game Studios and ZeniMax as a whole. I am done with their bad decisions. I'm done with all of it. I planned on making a video defending Wolfenstein Youngblood because I enjoyed what I played of it. I haven't finished it yet, but I was planning on it. Now I'm not even going to bother making that video. ZeniMax doesn't need me, or maybe they do, but they need me directing better decisions rather than making stupid YouTube videos. I canceled my pre-order of Doom Eternal, put that money into paying for Death Stranding. From now on, I'm not even going to bother with that process. I was pre-ordering games so I could pay a few dollars here and there when I can. Now I'll just save my money and maybe pick up a game if I want one. It's become crystal clear that building trust is something that many of these companies don't give a shit about anymore. After all, if they want to break their monetization promises, guess I'll break my promises to buy and play their games. It's only fair, right? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.